way because my brain won't work that way. So first we're going to do some announcements. We want first for everyone to know that immediately following the service today, down at the fellowship hall, we will be having a dinner in which you are all welcome. And we're going to be serving Puerto Rican food. And so we'll be going down there. Daisy and Belinda were up most of the night cooking. Jan was up until 3:30 doing the... we are collecting for the yard sale. Monday through Friday, they're collecting from 9 in the morning till 11. On Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, I will be there. The Girl Scouts will be there Tuesday, and the kids will be there Wednesday, and we'll be collecting from 6 to 8. Okay, the frogs and the 316s are meeting on Wednesday, so good. Okay. On Thursday, sermon notes. You can see that on our Facebook page. It's a good opportunity to hear Pastor Mike, who elaborates more on the sermon. Coming up, council is. Wait a minute, I'm reading this back. Oh, the meet and greet is canceled on Mother's Day, May 12th. We will not have a meet and greet. Because it's Mother's, we don't want to cook for you. The yard sale is May 9th through the 11th. Really don't need it.
They do.
If you turn it on, it works better. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sure you're not having any trouble hearing her. The yard sale is May 9th through the 11th.
Del 9 al 11 va a ser la yarda.
Buenos días. The God's Daughters Banquet.
El banquete de hijas de Dios
is May 17th.
Va a ser el 17 de mayo.
That is $12 per person.
$12 por persona.
6 and under are free.
Y de 6 años hacia abajo, o sea, más jóvenes, esas son gratis.
The theme is Women Through the Ages, Inspiring Faith in Others.
Y el tema de la convivio de las mujeres va a ser mujeres a través de los tiempos, inspirando a otras.
May 18th, we will be having scrapbooking, and we'll be wherever they're not having John Gunther's memorial. We hope that you all can come to John's memorial. Will be that. You know, Mike, what time that starts? 11 o'clock.
A las 11 va a ser el memorial que van a hacer a John Gunther. Nos gustaría que todos puedan participar. Aparte, ese día va a ser scrapbooking, no translation. Para eso, no sabemos exactamente el salón, pero luego se lo vamos a avisar.
And I think they're having a dinner to follow. Is that correct? Yes. So they'll be having a dinner. We also wanted to tell you that offering for those who are visiting.
Y para aquellos que están visitando en cuestión de ofrendas.
Or those who want to do it this way.
O algunos que quieran participar.
We have a website, and there is an option on the website to donate to the church.
Se puede hacer a través de correo tipo electrónico o de internet y también una aplicación.
Are there any other announcements?
¿Algún otro anuncio?
If not, rise and pass the peace.
Y si no, sí, pase la paz.
My tights are falling. That's what's good about getting that.
there last night, you know, the wreck they had down the hill from them. When Pam and I were out there, we saw basically a slope of the road. What we saw was just wheels straight past all the inner wheels were burning. The smoke was like well, it was going crazy. You know, like down here in San Francisco, they have places with balloons and sand areas. They don't have anything like that on the hill.
Oh, did was he surprised? I'm going.
If you all will join me in the call to worship found in your bulletin. Gentle. Lowly. Shepherd. In your gentleness. In your power. In your lowliness. In your gentleness. As a shepherd. We're going to be singing Sanctuary. We'll repeat it three times. Those who know it, if you'll sing with us during the first chorus and then the rest join in the second. Did anybody write on the page on the back? I forgot to grab that.
I don't think so.
Are there any prayer requests today? Joys, concerns?
I have 2 deaths to go to visit for this week. My old principal's wife and a neighbor and a friend I went to school with, the Lynn family, she died the other day. And then my best friend from high school, her mother, the Lynn family, on Starlight Church, she passed away this weekend.
So for those of you who didn't hear, Denise has 2 funerals to go to this week, one for a best friend and one for a good friend of the family. Both passed away, so we'll be with you in spirit for that. Any others, joys or concerns? The seniors as they graduate, which reminds me, if there are any seniors in there, get with me about that so I know who they are. If we have any, I don't think we have any this year. But if you do, let me know. Any others? I have a joy, and it's all sitting in that front row over there. I am extraordinarily proud of these girls. And if they would stand for me, Luna, Jana, Keisha, Belinda, who's one of our adults, although sometimes and Daisy and I were the youth mission team, and these girls went above and beyond. And you'll see in the film, I'm so proud of you. So let's give them a hand. If there are no more requests, if you will join me in prayer. Father God,
Padre Dios,
we bring to you the concerns of our hearts,
te traemos nuestras preocupaciones de corazón,
those mentioned and those unsaid.
esos mencionados y también los no mencionados.
We ask for healing, peace, and guidance,
Pedimos sanamiento, paz y dirección.
and to feel the touch of your embrace through it all.
Y de sentir el toque de tu abrazo a través de todo.
Please hear us now as we bring to you our prayers in silence.
Favor de escuchar nuestras oraciones conllevadas en silencio.
Father,
Padre,
hear all our prayers
escucha todas nuestras oraciones.
and join me as we recite the prayer taught us by your Son.
Y únanse conmigo mientras recitamos la oración enseñada por tu Hijo.
Our Father,
Aleluya.
which art in heaven,
Estás en el cielo.
hallowed be thy name.
Santificado sea tu nombre.
Thy kingdom come,
Venga tu reino.
thy will be done,
Hágase su voluntad.
on earth as it is in
En
heaven.
el cielo así también en la tierra.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts
Perdona nuestros
as we
pecados,
forgive our debtors.
como también nosotros perdonamos nuestros
Lead us not
deudores.
to temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Mas líbranos
For
del mal.
thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever.
Por los siglos.
Amen. You may remain seated as we sing Make Me a Blessing, found on page 525 in your hymnal.
chicken and rice and our salad and bread. Plantains? Yeah, okay. And this is all of us eating our food. The church made the food. And this was our dinners. The first one over there, it was a,
I don't remember what it said. It's the one with the chicken and the rice. It's they call pigeon peas, but it's like a bean rice.
so we had rice and salad and chicken. And the next one is like beans and rice. And we had potatoes and salad. And this one was my favorite. It was chicken Alfredo with rice and salad and tostones. and the sauce on it is mayo ketchup, which is the best. And this was in Ponce, and we was eating pinchos, which is like chicken, right? Chicken and barbecue sauce, right? Yeah. It was my favorite too. And that's Belinda.
No shame.
Oh, and this was like at a seafood restaurant before our boat ride. And Shannon was allergic, so she had to eat pork chops. But yeah. And those are empanadas. We had lobster, chicken, and fish, right? Pizza, yeah. And this was our last day? No. Or it was our last day and we ate some tacos. Chicken with potatoes.
Luna? Luna's going to talk to us about some of the people that we met, and what she doesn't know is there were 45 people there besides us who were there on this trip, and she's going to talk about some of the people we met.
This was the youth pastor. People would call him the Puerto Rican Jesus because of his beard.
There you go.
Microphone.
This is our junior. He was the first person we met at the airport. He's from the Dominican Republic. We ended up hanging out with him, and we soon called him Theo Jr. Uncle. This is a group from Batesville, Indiana. They came with their Spanish teacher. She was only 23 years old. And that's Christine. She came by herself from North Carolina. She was with another group that worked outside of our first residence home. 3-year-old Spanish teacher. This was the cop. He made us feel safer because the building was open at night. This is Jose. He was one of the community there, and he and the group behind us were from Illinois. This is Michelle. She worked for their local government. She also picked the homes we worked in, and we soon called her the Albertines Mines. This is Sam. We met on the plane coming from Baltimore. He was with part of his school, and he's from Illinois. He was very outgoing, and we still keep in touch. And then that's us talking to some of them. That's Isabel. She's from Oregon, and she was Agustina, she's from Argentina, and she was also one of the red shirts. And that's a family from Colorado. They were a group of 4. Yeah, they were a family. They came to help out on the house that we were working on. Yeah, that's just some of the red shirts.
Anna is going to talk to us. The first home we went to was the home of Lisa and Donahue, and she's going to tell you about them.
What are red shirts?
Red shirts are the volunteers that work with group. Most of them are unpaid, and they come from all over. They have a few that are paid. Tio, that we met, that we talked, Tio Jr., he was a minister that group had come. They have a volunteer minister. That's who he was. And I believe that the girl from Oregon, Isabel, was only 16 or 17, so she was very young herself. And Luistina was about 20, I think, 21, something like that. They just came to volunteer, so they were only there the week that we were there too. So actually, I think they're there for the summer. The one from Oregon was going back, but Luistina will be there. Amy, we didn't have pictures of Amy, but she was our person who was our contact for the group, who made sure we had all of our supplies. But it was hard to catch a picture of her because she was pretty busy.
Red Shirts help organize and coordinate the week-long program. So if a site runs out
We didn't
of supplies,
have, yeah, they kept track of supplies only, but we didn't have any program at this one, so. Yeah. So Janet, talk about it.
Alright, so this was Lisa and Donahue, and they were our residents. So Donahue was 8 years old, and he always wore a pop collar, and he had his Nikes on, and he wanted us to watch soap operas with him. He even helped us paint, and he said that he was the best at painting. And he made us cod fritters for lunch. He said that even though Bobby was allergic to fish, that she wouldn't be allergic to his fish.
He pushed.
And this is us with him. And these were their 2 dogs. And this is us with Lisa. She's 32. It's Donahue's daughter. And her mother passed away just 4 weeks before we got there to help her. This is her new room. She's really shy.
The second home we went to was the Lexi's, and Belinda's going to talk about him.
I was not prepared with my little cue card, so.
You got it.
Yeah, okay. Alexis, I guess his parents passed away, right? And he had siblings. He actually grew up in Florida, spoke great English, very funny. He's about, how old is he? About 36 years old. He had some kind of illness. We weren't really sure what was going on, but he was living in very, very bad conditions. Like filth and everything. He was like just filthy himself. But we were able to see past all that and help him, with his home and clean up and make him feel like, he wasn't like someone creepy or scary or someone to be around. I feel like I could relate with him because of his age. I feel like he was like an older brother, and I kept getting on him like, keep your room clean type thing. He was really funny and very social. I knew that he had maybe some mental issues and just things that he was going through, and we felt like we probably impacted him the most. by being there and not treating him differently or like any other person probably would. Jose, the guy that we know, Luna, was Luna? We showed it earlier. He actually met him at it was pastor, the deacon had met him at like a clinic, or I don't know if I remember. And saw that he was someone in need. I mean, like he did not have food, he didn't clean clothes or anything like that. The house that he was staying in was his family's, but we think that not even like he had siblings were, coming to help him or anything like that. He really wanted to be involved in everything that we were doing, and he was always making jokes though, but you could see that he was hurting inside. So we're hoping that, with what we did to help him and everything like that, that, help him try to keep up with himself and change a little bit. And, I don't know what the future and stuff, but hopefully we can keep in touch and know what his status and health is.
So we worked hard, but before we show you the hard work, we want to show you we worked Monday and Tuesday, and we had a day off on Wednesday, and we went out and did some sightseeing, and we laughed. The island's 100 miles long, 30 miles across, and they kept saying, well, you can't go all those places, that's really far. And I was like, I drive that far to work every day. So they don't understand distance is the same there. And then we also had on the last day, our flight did not leave till 3 in the morning, so we did some sightseeing Saturday prior to leaving. And so Dave, who knows the island better than anyone I know, is going to share with us about the island and the things we saw.
I'll see if I remember that. Oh, yeah, FYI, if you ever need a human GPS.
One time, she got to know where it's at, and she just got.
Yes. I mean, amazing. I'm good driving there because you have to be a little aggressive. Okay, I was trying to be modest. A lot aggressive. But this one, oh my gosh, she's like, no, just keep going. It's not that mountain, it's the next mountain. I don't remember which one you took us. Okay. This was is this the municipality? Okay. Some of the pictures Jan was taking, I'm driving, so you don't want me to be driving and, driving and I'll stand over here because I have to see the pictures to remember. A lot of pictures Jan took, I'm driving, so she'll help me out, but that's the municipality in Salinas. Yeah. So basically the mayor's office. So our GPS, not the human one, the phone one, sent us there. So apparently that was the old Coliseum that was like a baseball park. And we're like, oh yeah, we got this. And we get there and we're like, this is where we're staying. And so of course we called Junior because Junior was our guide. And so then we went to Walgreens and Amy met us at Walgreens. We were literally like 2 minutes away from the place we were supposed to be at. So that's it, the one to the right. I'm sorry? This was before the hurricane. Yes, this was before the hurricane because the building on the left, actually half the roof is gone. This was in Ponce. It's a bank, right? That's the bank, yeah. There's Luna. Oh yeah, there they are. There's the crew. And there's Belinda again. She was actually heading towards, if you see towards the top, it says, there's an M and O. It's called Paseo Amor. It's the love alley. Belinda was heading that way. We don't know what. This is, it's called Ponce, Parque de Bombas. This is actually a museum now, but it was actually a fire station. That's all wood. Yeah, there were. Yeah, well, Ponce de Leon. The city is named after Ponce de Leon, and so therefore you'll see lions throughout the city. This was an aerial picture that we took, and the blue that you see is not pools. It's actually tarps, FEMA tarps still, and there's a lot. This was Keisha actually caught this picture, which was nice because as we were flying in, we didn't catch it, but Keisha did get this one, so thanks, Keisha. The girls wanted me to take a picture of a chicken russo. Our dinner. And that is, Jana named that the Puerto Rican possum. They're all over. They're running around. They're all over. You see them just, they're like, hey, what's going on, you know?
You see them dead on the side of the road, like possums here.
Yeah. It's a, oh my gosh, I've been like, iguanas. And this was for Geronimo. Everywhere we went, we just kept saying, we need to send this to Geronimo. It just needs a roof. I mean, believe this. We only put one, but we have a whole bunch. This was a lighthouse that we went to in Guanica. It was built in, I believe, 1898, if I'm not mistaken. Just amazing, and it's sad that it's not been taken care of, but we really had a good time there. Just beautiful pictures. This is in Ponce, and this was the art museum. And this month it was art of women. It was just promoting all arts. And one of the artists, he runs it there, but he also was he talked to us. It was really nice. There we go. And originally, that art museum was the governor's home, and towards the back was the stables and also where the slaves lived. And then I forgot what year it was that the city took it and then they turned it into a museum. But a lot of the structure's still there. Just a pic. This was, I believe, in Guanica. Was this Guanica also?
No, this was on our way out at Boston. We went out to the White House. With this ride.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was in Cabo Rojo. I remember now because that's when we were going to Lajas. This is Lajas where the bioluminescent bay that we went. And so right at 7 o'clock, I think we started knocking, they got their picture. We went to, there's only 3 on the island, 3 of the bays, and this one is actually one of the best ones. And actually, there's another one that's public, but the other one is private. So really you only have access to 2. This was our drive every day, one of our routes. And so, yeah, we had to get a picture of the girls, the coconuts. And, yeah, see me later about the name of this, but there is a controversy between 2 cities that we work in, Salinas and Calle. Originally, these mountains belonged to Calle, but they had some discrepancies, and so now half of it belongs to Salinas, the other half belongs to Calle. But if you're in Puerto Rico and you're driving and you see this, you know it's a landmark, it's Calle, and it sits up very high, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And these were everywhere, as Puerto Rico is predominantly Catholic, but there is a lot of other faiths. But this was one of the things that Jana, we were fascinated. I mean, you would see real big ones on the side of the road, just randomly. Houses would have small ones. It was just really nice to see that. Oh, the History Museum. The Museum of History in Ponce. And then that was in Cabo Rojo. That is another lighthouse where we were in sandals, and you have to walk. Yeah, you have to hike up there, and so it wasn't happening. But Jana got as close as she could because she really enjoys the lighthouse, so we drove there. Another little family, some more dinner. This is in Ponce, and it's the square. And this was also in Ponce. We were taking pictures at the plaza. In Puerto Rico, every town has these little plazas, and the municipality will be, and literally across from the plaza will be the church, the Catholic church, and then there's little shops and stuff. But this lady her name is Gloria. So we're out there, being tourists, taking pictures. She's with her little walker just going, and she looks at me, she goes, "You can take my picture." She says, "I like taking pictures." And I'm like, "Well, okay, let's do a selfie."
She says, "I'm dressed up
She says, I'm dressed up today, and so we took a selfie, and I said, let's get a group picture. And she tells Belinda, I'm on Facebook, look me up. I mean, how awesome. So Janice said, that is Belinda looking into the future. Belinda is our Gloria.
That's my goal.
This was in Guanica, and it's really cool. It's Guanica Bay. The water there is really, really calm. It's the Caribbean Sea that you're seeing there. And the locals' legend is that this is the entrance of Christopher Columbus when he came and invaded the island. Gotta get that in there. And because it was the most calm part, because when you're in San Juan, the waters are very, yes. So, what she said. And this is just a view from, we went up a mountain and we got a view from the top. Yeah, that's where the Luminous Bay is. So we.
What we saw.
Huh?
What we saw at the Luminous Bay.
What did we see at the Luminous Bay? Yeah, well, you could take pictures.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and a video.
Yeah, and so they take you out about, I think it was about 2 miles, and it's amazing. Is as soon as the water is disturbed, it's fluorescent. And so this guy gets off the boat, which actually is our little captain, and he jumps in. He was a real cool guy. And so he swims around, and you see all around him just lighting up. It's the most amazing thing. But unfortunately, you can't take pictures even if you try. It just will not show up. And they actually allow people to do. There was a group from Germany on another boat. This was side by side with us. They all jumped in. And I'm like, they're crazy. I don't know what's underneath there. But it was really beautiful. I think that was... sea cows in there, yeah. This was one of my things that I was like telling Jana, we have to go. I went there when I was 18 years old through my school, and I loved it. My mom and my sister have been there too. But this church was built in, I think, 1608 or 1609. It's one of the oldest churches in the Western Hemisphere. And it's called Porta Coeli, which means the gates of heaven. Amazing, just amazing. And so the church was built in this town that is all like this. When I parked the car, I was like, oh Lord, please don't let it go down in, because we were like in a slope. It was, yeah. But so anyway, yeah, we got that picture, which is really cool. And that's from the church looking out to the town. And that's the entrance. There's a lot of it was turned into a museum, and there's a lot of different statues. Yeah, that's looking down from the church down. Yes, the new church, yes. That was also in Calle/Salinas, because like I said, they kind of got a little war going on who's the border, where the line of the difference of the city. But that tree is called, what was it called? You remember?
The tree of the view.
The tree of, I actually have it written down, just a second here in my notes. La curva del árbol, the curve of the tree. It's actually on a curve. They put a swing on it. There's a gate so you won't fall over, hopefully. And people have tagged their names on it. It's really cool. And it says that they put something there from after the hurricane, and it says that like we're being reborn. So they're really positive about just restoring everything. The Christian over here on the side, he works really closely with the group and with Jose, who was one of our guys, go-to guys. He's actually a postman in Puerto Rico.
And the thing about Christopher is he was born in the United States. His parents died and he was sent back to Puerto Rico to live with his grandparents. But he does not know how old he is, nor does he know his birthday, because his grandparents didn't know. So he arrived as a very small child. He doesn't know how old he is or have any birth records.
I believe this was up in Calle as well, right? We took the picture down, yeah. This was when we were heading to the Luminescent Bay. This was actually on our way. Luna got a little sick on our way home on Saturday, or on our way to the airport, and so we had to stop at this bar. It was everything open at 10 a.m. So Jenna was taking a break. Was this one in Ponce?
No, this is at your.
Oh, this was in Caguas. This was in Caguas. This is the city where my mom actually went to high school, and so there, that's the plaza. They have this cool tree. And it says Amistad, which is friendship. And that's the girls taking a picture. That's the plaza again, the same. Oh, in Caguas. Vines.
That's their, municipality.
Yeah, the municipality in Caguas. Like I said, they're all pretty much set up the same way. Janet just was fascinated by this picture. I have no idea why. This is in Guaynabo. This is actually going up the road to my mom's. And this was, Mommy, am I correct? It was a jail? Yeah, it was a jail, and then years later, it's over 200 years old. And then someone converted it to a home. I'm like, hey, you know, so pretty cool. This was when we were going back to the airport, going back to San Juan, Metropolitan Area. This was really cool. This was also on our way back on Saturday. We were driving, and we took the back roads. Instead of taking the highway, we went the old road, which is a lot of hills and stuff. And this gentleman was, it's an abandoned building after the hurricane. We believe it was kind of like a restaurant type bar place. And he took it and started bringing books there and made it a free library. And it says there, libretón, lleva y trae. So it's like a library, bring and take. And you bring books in. Just amazing. And the guy actually, he lived in New York for over 20 years and worked in the hospital in Manhattan. And he retired, him and his wife, and went back to the island. And then they just, I mean, it's amazing. There's all kind of books there and stuff. This is in San Juan, and that, Old San Juan, well, yeah, Old San Juan, and the picture on the left is the Normandy. It was a really, really famous hotel. But right now, it's abandoned. I don't know if they're even going to even restore it, but it's amazing. It looks like a ship. It's on the Normandy. And then on the right is just Old San Juan. Jen was, we were close to La Perla, and she was taking pictures. It started raining. We couldn't get out of the car, but she still was able to get some really good pics. That's at Castillo San Cristobal. It's a fort. It was made, it's in Old San Juan. It's, you know, to protect from the Dutch, the French, La Comunidad La Perla, it's a really cool place. This place was originally built for a slaughterhouse, and then people started building houses there, and then it became a community. It's well known, it's in videos. It only has 3 entrances / access, so you only get in and you better know your way out. And there's a cemetery as one of the entrances. But a lot of the structures are still not being repaired and probably won't ever get repaired. Originally, like I'm talking back like, 1600s, it was a slaughterhouses where they would take, animals to get slaughtered to then feed the rich. That's what I think. But yeah, you've got cruise ships going in there all the time, but not that part, the other side of the fort. I love that picture. Yeah. That's still part of the fort.
How about the guards that stood in those little?
Oh, the guards, yeah, they're called garitas, and that's actually where the guards would stand, because they couldn't sit, they would just stand there, I don't know how many hours, and just watch to see if anybody was coming. And that's part of La Perla. And that's Old San Juan. And that's not a good picture, Jen. That's in El Condado, which is the more metro part of San Juan. It's where the restaurants, casinos, hotels are, and we went to that side to go get dinner, and then the girls got some souvenirs. That's a church that's being restored, right, Jen, on the right?
Mm-hmm. That's the back of it.
Mm-hmm. Uber. So yeah, so that they could go to hopefully the next picture, which is it's called the Paseo. Oh, that's a church. They took a picture. They were walking. They went walking. I said, "You guys go. I'll stay in the car because there's nowhere to park." And it was packed. It was Saturday, and there's a place that I wanted the girls to go see where there's a whole alley, and it's full of umbrellas. And you can Google it, there it is. And so for them to go see it, I said, get out, y'all start walking. By the time I make it to where y'all gonna be at, it'll be time for you guys to get back in the car. And so then there's their pictures, yeah. So they was all pink because it was promoting breast cancer. But normally there are multiple colors, multicolors. Yeah. Who's that? Jenna? Okay, that's it.
A lot of people thought that that's what we were going for. For all the beautiful, beautiful things we saw there. I will tell you, the people of Puerto Rico were some of the kindest, most generous, loving people I've ever met. And I told Daisy, I said, I have never been blessed as many times as I've been blessed in my whole life. Every person who saw you, they told you, the article which Bon Appetit, which was pour Rachel.
They say, buen provecho.
Buen provecho. And that was meant bon appetit. So we'd be sitting, we're in Ponce, sitting on the side of the road eating our pinchos, and this group of little old people went by, every single one of them said it, and then they followed it up with blessings to you. So everyone you met blessed you. And I told Daisy, I've been blessed more times in 1 week than I have my entire life. And so that was really great. And we talked a lot about the people and why we went. We had a lot of people question why we went and why Puerto Rico. It is part of the United States, and we wanted to remember that. It is a country that the first home we went to got their electricity just a few weeks before we got there. So imagine taking care of your very ill mother in a home that you can't clean or do anything to because you don't have electricity. We don't have electricity for a day. Let's not even say a day, a few hours. And we all get out of shape. 18 months, they went without electricity. I can't even fathom that, electricity for 18 months. So we're going to talk a little bit about first go to the church. We were excited to go. We spent the night with Daisy. She got all of this. And we had our suitcases. We're getting ready to go. We're excited. We're all excited. We're going to go. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be wonderful. We were so excited. We arrived. This is where we thought we were going to be sleeping until they until they decided to crowd 36 girls into this space. And Daisy and I said, "This isn't going to work." I said, "This isn't going to work. We got to find somewhere else because you couldn't even walk past the air mattresses and cots." So we went down, and that's when we met Michelle and we met some of the others. And I said, "I don't want to complain, but this isn't safe. We'll sleep out anywhere here, and we'll find another place. We'll sleep anywhere you want." And we were sorry we said that. "We'll sleep anywhere you want." And they said, "Well, we think we can get all of you in this office back here." And we said, "Okay, that's fine. We'll take that." And then Jose came and he said, "Well, we're going to put the girls and Belinda in the office, and you and Daisy are going to sleep over here," which happened to be the coach's locker room. And we called it we had our own private bathroom and shower, which was at a urinal, if we should happen to need it. And she slept on an air mattress, and I slept on a cot. I think I'm older than the cot is. I have scars on my knees from the metal. We had to go get a mat to put over it. But I said, "Okay, that's fine." The first night, we saw rats.
I thought they were mice.
David thought they were mice. I said, "Daisy." They were not mice, but they were little rats. So I told the girls, "Leave them alone, leave you alone, we'll deal." And that was pretty good until the last night. Daisy and I saw the mother of the rats. And then I wasn't quite so fine with the rats anymore. And Daisy's like, "I can't sleep." I said, "You have to sleep. You're driving all day tomorrow." And I said, we can't have that. I said, "I'll stay up and take first watch, and you get some sleep." So Daisy pulled the covers over her head. My nephew works for the barge system, and I knew he'd be up because he's the night captain. So we texted until like 4 in the morning, and I said, "My phone's about to die. And I got to get some sleep. And so I finally went to sleep at 4 and we were up at 7. And up at 7. But so yes, we slept with rats. So don't think we had high accommodations. We did not. This is where we had breakfast every day. And everything is open there. There aren't doors. They had the gates and things, but it was all open because the weather's nice year round. But what you don't see is on the other side of that is up where. Oh yes, on the end of the table is Amy and the kind of lavender. Is it lavender? Anyway, on the other side of us were about 40 women doing Zumba. So we got done with breakfast and we got up and did Zumba before we went to work. And then we come back in the evening and they had basketball. It was not a quiet place at all. We went to church on Sunday morning, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we thought we were early, but they had already started when we got there. They were singing and dancing, and it was quite the service. So that was the church, and there's one of the flag girls. And then they took us out to see our first homes. This is the home of Donahue and Lisa. And as we pulled up to the house, we're told that Lisa's mother had died 4 weeks to the day that we got there. And when we met Lisa, just wait a minute, so the picture on the right is Lisa's room. That's Lisa's bedroom. Lisa was the youngest of 4. She was 32 years old. She had no hope. When you looked at Lisa's face, her eyes didn't sparkle or shine. She didn't smile. She didn't say much. Her shoulders were down. You could tell that Lisa had no hope. This bedroom at one time had been her sister's room, had been painted blue when her sister had a little boy. Prior to that, this room on the left is the room you walk through to get to places had been Lisa's room. Everybody walked through it. That's the same. Oh yeah, that's her other room. That's her room. This was all Lisa's room. She didn't have a bed. She slept on that futon. So that was Lisa's room. This was the bathroom, the kitchen. This is outside when you pulled up to their home. Now, they're kind of up near where those mountains are that we kept showing. And so it was one of the last places to get electricity. And the electricity is still very iffy. The second day we were there, the electric went out at 10 in the morning, and it was not back on when we left at 4 in the afternoon. But this was pulling up to their home. Nothing had been done to their yard at all. Nothing had been done to their home. This is us getting ready to go out the first day. We saw it on Sunday, and we're like, oh man, that is a lot of work. And we were very concerned, but we're like, it's where God wants us to go. The other thing to know about this is Michelle that you saw earlier came up and told us, she goes, I picked you especially because I felt something when I met you guys. You're special. And I think they are. You guys are special. But she said, Lisa is my friend. We went to school together from kindergarten. And so they've been to school all their lives. And she said, Lisa has, she didn't know what to call it, but basically when she described it, panic attacks. If Lisa had to get up to talk to anyone, she would shake, she would cry, she couldn't do it. She went to college for 3.5 weeks and came home because she couldn't do it. So she said, my special friend needs a lot of help. And she goes, I need help for Lisa, and I picked you. So we thought, we even have a heavier burden. That house needed a lot. What were we going to do? We thought we had 4 days. So we get there, and Belinda was quite the bathroom. If you ever need a bathroom cleaned, call Belinda. She's good. We wore masks because there was a lot of black mold on everything, as you can imagine, and a lot of mouse droppings, and ant trails, and Jamba Juice wings and Jamba Juice later. And so this is Jenna and Keisha cleaned the kitchen with Daisy. Okay. But we still managed to laugh and have fun. And look, we also have lots of paint all over us. We did wear a lot of masks again because of that black mold, and we were also cleaning with bleach, which for those of you who don't know, bleach will stiffen your lungs. It's not good for your lungs, so we used a lot of bleach. So we wore masks. While we were working inside, there was a group working outside. And this is kind of an after picture. They had worked half a day. All of this debris was pulled out of the side yard at their house and lined up there. And they weren't done yet. We got so tickled at the doghouse. The doghouse got a FEMA card. I would guess well, they probably had done something to do to their roof. But if you meet Donahue, he was forever tinkering with things. And when you saw him sitting he made his own walker with a seat. While we were there, he found a board and he drilled holes in it and he wired it onto his walker frame and he had a chair, so he had a walker. He was forever making things, so I'm sure he did that. This is the girls when we get started painting Lisa's room. And breaking for lunch on our second day on their front porch, which had really been cleaned a lot. And cleaning out the cabinets. The cabinets that you see on the top replaced the cabinets over on the picture on the right. Opened up that window and really brightened up her kitchen a lot. The family, when they told us we needed to put in cabinets, I was looking at them like, have you seen my work lately? I don't think you want me to put in cabinets. So we told them we couldn't do that, and that family came to put in the cabinets. We didn't have a lot of accessories, so when we were painting on the edges, I used my hand for one of those little metal things. I had a pink hand. That's what I was doing. We painted the ceiling. Looking at this color pink reminded me that when we asked Lisa, I said, Lisa, and I had Daisy interpreted, and I said, Lisa, what color would you like to have your room? She goes, I don't know. White's okay, because she knew we had white. I said, Lisa, pick a color. We will buy paint. And she said, pastel. I said, green, blue, yellow, because pastels are a lot. And she said, Rosita, which means pink. We're like, okay. And so we got pink paint to paint her room. Daisy doesn't like to paint. We found that out on this trip. Of course, when you paint, you had to clean out your paintbrushes, and it was hot. They're not cleaning out the paintbrushes. And I had to explain to Daisy, you work with us, not the municipality. You cannot climb in the big truck. But see, the reason I put this in, if you'll see all the stuff on the left-hand side, that was all taken out of their yard. So the toilet and the cabinets and all that was pulled out of their yard. And this is us. This is before we're really getting started a whole lot. We've done some. You see that behind us are 2 refrigerators that have been there for quite some time, I think, unplugged. And that's where we got the Jamba Juice that poured out of the refrigerator when we moved it. All over our shoes and socks, which we threw away almost all the clothing we took to work in. So that was us with Lisa before we got started. So the girls earned a break that first day. We were like, okay, they deserve a break. That was bad news. So they played around with the other kids. And then, we go back for more. And this is us eating, some of the groups eating when they fed us. We had to do our own laundry because, when you get Jamba Juice on your slacks, you don't want to put them back on the next day to go back to work. So this is mine and Daisy's cell. And the girls' stuff all got hung up in our room. But we washed out all of our slacks to wear again. The picture on the left is Lisa's room after we got done. Both pictures. Yes, sorry about that. But when we got done, we were all like, this is when we had found out that day that we were not going to be there all 4 days. And we were very disappointed because we were excited. We had plans. There was so much we wanted to do. Don't go yet. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to watch them. But anyway, we were all excited. We were like, we had plans. And I said, well, we had to pray about this because, we really wanted to help Lisa. By this point, we were very attached. very invested in Lisa and Donahue. And they were invested in us. In fact, he told us that we were now familia, and that we would always be familia, and to come visit him if we ever come back. But this was what we got done with the room. We're like, oh, we wanted to do more. We wanted to do more of the house. We got the kitchen, the bathroom, and her room. But we wanted her to have a sanctuary. That was our big goal, was her to have a sanctuary. And we decided that, well, maybe if this gets her motivated. So we went back.
Now
Yeah, now we
not dance again.
yeah. And this is what Lisa had done with her room. She painted the cabinets pink. She pulled in this cabinet, painted it pink, set up her own little altar. The pink in her bedspread, she put the futon out, matched the walls perfectly. She hung up lace curtains. She put in her own little refrigerator TV. Daisy asked her if that was where she kept her beer. No! But she had her own sanctuary in this room now. And, go ahead. No, okay.
Okay.
So to talk about Lisa and to talk about Donahue, and what we did was more than clean the house. We cleaned her house. We made her a sanctuary. But if you saw Lisa from day one, who's like this, to Lisa on day 5 when we went back to visit, whose shoulders are back, her head's up, smiling from ear to ear, her eyes were sparkling, we gave her hope. We showed Lisa that a God who loves us loved her and cared about her. And we prayed with her and we talked with her. We gave it, you can see on the chair there's a picture frame kind of, and that was the gift we took her that gave blessings on her home. So what we gave Lisa was more than a clean house. What we gave Lisa was a God who loves her and a God who's there for her. So that was Lisa's. Well, when we got the message, you go to the next one. They came up and told us, we're sending you to a house that we really feel that you guys can handle. I'm like, okay. It's 10 times worse than Lisa's house. And I'm like, okay. And they said, it's really, really bad. We just want you to know it's really bad, but it needs help so badly, and we want you to go. I almost cried. Daisy almost cried. Our girls almost cried. We went back. We didn't want to go. None of us wanted to go. It had been bad enough going and cleaning what we cleaned at Lace's. And we were invested in them. And they had told us this was a 36-year-old. What Belinda didn't tell you is they found Alexis in a doctor's office trying to get into rehab for drugs. He's a drug addict. So you can't imagine anyone more hopeless and broken than Alexis. And his house showed it. He was living in filth, and he was too sick to do anything about it. And we prayed, and we said, God, if this is where you want us to go, we'll do this. But we didn't want to. But we prayed. The breakfast prayer that morning by the chaplain or the doctor who was cleaning on the outside of his house was, God, help us to look at people through your eyes and not through our own. So that was our prayer. Please, God, help us to look at this person through your eyes. And we did. And we fell in love with him. We really did. When we got there, they told us, you have to wear these heavy gloves. You have to wear these heavy masks. You have to wear goggles and shoe covers. And she said, do you care about your clothes? And we were like, nope. So we had already decided they were going in the trash. So we all showed up, terrified to work. Well, that's Lisa's house again. That's what we wanted to be. This is the inside of Alexi's house. You can see the stove. You can see the floor and the cabinet over here on the left. This is part of our cleaning team in the kitchen. That on the left is Alexi's room. On the right was his bathroom. And the color of the inside of that commode that looks dark to you, that was the real color of the inside of his commode. And when I lifted the lid, I came out and I'm dry heaving. There was nothing but stool all over and down the side. And We kind of threw in a chemical bomb, is what I said. We threw in everything we had to clean with and just poured it in that room as best we could and closed the door and said, we'll do it tomorrow. We can't do it today. Well, we were inside working. This is the outside of Alexi's house. And his house is on probably 3 or 4 acres. I mean, it was in a beautiful neighborhood. This was a neighborhood where the people had some wealth. And they found 8 broken TVs, cell phones broken. Alexi's probably bipolar, and they never left us alone there. There were always men there with us when we were at Alexi's house. But that he had destroyed. But here's the thing, he wants help. He needed help. So we started scrumming, and this is where I had to laugh at Carol because I posted that we're going to power wash a house. Is Carol still here? And Carol said, oh, how nice, I've had my house power washed. She's not thinking it's new. And I said, Carol, we're power washing the inside of the house. So we were power washing the inside of the house. And I'm holding the power wash back there. And as we're power washing the floors and the walls, everyone was sweeping the water out the doors. So we power washed the inside of the house. And that countertop is really looking good there. It was black. And beautiful tile when we got it cleaned. It was really nice. Okay. This is the hallway. That's feces going all the way from Alexi's room to the bathroom. And blood. Mm-hmm. I'm standing here because that door is padlocked, and Alexi's family have padlocked the valuables in that room. Now, there's a part of me that said he hadn't tried really hard because I think he could have broke that padlock and gotten into that room. It was just a regular door, but he hadn't tried. But we didn't want the water to run in the room, so we're standing on plastic bags while they're hosing down. This was a table that Alexis ate off of every day. It was covered with old food and just nasty. And these are some, what you can't see in the top left picture. That is all the vegetation they took out of Alexi's house, and it was as high as the fence. That's the fence that you see kind of in the back of that white line was the fence. That's Daisy and Melinda in scrubbing the floors, and we scrubbed and we scrubbed and we scrubbed and we scrubbed the floors. Taking a break with Alexi out here, and everybody standing around talking and getting to know people. And of course, Jose explaining things to us down there. Alexi listened. But Alexi really cared. He really did. Oh, the red shirt was the doctor who told us that night at supper. He goes, I don't know how you all did that because I would not have. Every group, when we got back from the trip, I called Robin from group who had left me a message saying, Chan, I really need to talk to you. And I don't want you to text me, I want you to call. She says, I want to know about your trip. Okay, so I told her the pros and cons. She said, every group I called was worried about you and your girls because none of them would have done what your girls did at either house. So, girls, you get a big hand for that. The other 45 people there, none of the other 45 said they would have done what we did. They told me I looked like a scared minion. I might have been. I'll go back. That was, we had to do it in hazmat because of what we were dealing with. I didn't want the girls going in that, so I chose to do all the hazmating myself. Yeah, one nominated. Truthfully, Jose was supposed to do it, and Jose had meetings at the post office and could not be there, so I'm like, all right, no, I'll do it. And I didn't make him go in until Lexi's bedroom needed to clean in there. But it was so funny, I garbed up and I'm standing there, and I don't have my goggles and mask on yet. And Alexi looked at me and he goes, Miss Jana, because that's what they all call me. He said, you do have a mask, don't you, and goggles? I said, yes. He goes, oh, good. I don't want anything to happen to you. He was worried for me. The comments that he made at the end of that day were, it was too much. It was too much. You did too much. And he cried and we cried. So, we go to the next one. This is that same bathroom, what beautiful pink tile we found in that room. The toilet almost looks new. But the bathroom when we got done. These are the floors that were black before, and how clean we got those. And you can see this was the cabinet next to the stove. That's where the stove had been. And the cabinet was full of tin cans that had been opened and eaten with a spoon out of without even heating them up. You could tell I was just eating out of the cans. Ravioli and things like that. And black, it was just filthy. You can see how hard we worked on that. This is the living room and the kitchen area. Again, you can see how clean it was after we got done. Okay. And I'm just showing this one as one of the last houses. This is where the Padre, Upper Salinas, was living in that little yellow house with his sister and her husband. His house was destroyed by the hurricane. And he, for 18 months, has been helping everyone else in town, and nothing had been done for him. Nothing. And so there was a group that did go in and work for him. They put a roof on his house, and they cleaned all that yard up. They got rid of all the stuff that was, all those, all the debris. Think of, I'm from the Henryville area. My mom was in Henryville, and all the debris and the stuff that we cleaned up. And Dad had been sitting there for 18 months. It's unbelievable. So this is our missions group, and T.O. Jr. is now part of our group. He's familiar now too. The last thing we did with Alexi is we gave Alexi back something too. We cleaned his house, yes. The church there is feeding him 2 meals a day. They take his clothes home every day and wash them, and they're taking care of him. So I'm sure that Alexi will be taken care of. He's working on getting stronger. He stood for a while. He was standing every day next to his wheelchair trying to get strong enough to stand again, because he can't go into rehab until he can stand. So every day Alexi was working, and I said, keep at it, buddy, you can do this. When we got ready to leave, and we were standing around in a circle, I laid my hand on his shoulder, and he looked at me startled. As a nurse, I'm suspicious that he probably had AIDS. He probably was HIV. And I don't think anyone's touched him in years, because he looked at me real startled and he smiled. And we prayed and we told him, you are now our family, and we care about you as much as God does. And you have a God who loves you and cares about you and wants you to be well. And we want that for you, and we're going to pray for you every day. We want this to be a beginning for you. He had been married, we've been married, he had a significant other in Florida. He has a 12-year-old daughter, and he's estranged from all of his family. His brothers and sisters sitting there and want nothing to do with him. For Alexi, the world had turned his back. They turned their back on him. And there were 2 Jose's, but Deacon Jose made a difference. And they called us in out of desperation, and we made a difference. So the theme was grit. And we got gritty. We threw away most of our grit and left it there. Nobody wanted our John Butchie's clothes, including us. We certainly didn't want to pack them and bring them home. But God calls us every day to do things that we don't want to do. Every day. Getting out of bed some days maybe more than some people can handle. Here was Alexi facing drug addiction and trying to overcome it, and he has hope now. He knows that God loves him, and he felt that touch. And it wasn't us doing it for Alexis, it was God. God, through us, made all this happen. And I cannot be prouder of these girls and the work they did. We had to pick our suitcases up at 8 o'clock from the airport, and this is us. Here's how I know that it made a difference for these girls. Where we were walking there, they're doing new construction at the airport. There was a homeless man there from the Dominican Republic. He came in for a job, and the job wasn't there. And he was sleeping in the new part of the airport. And I gave him my pillow. The girls had gone around the corner, and I gave him my pillow and the towel that I had, and I got a pillow from Walmart. He can have it, and gave him a towel to kind of cover up with. I came around the corner, and all of our girls were going through their bags, and they pulled out all of their snacks. Snacks. And took them back gave to him, and he cried. He thanked us and cried. But that tells me that God, you know, we are so blessed here. And we think we are. We think we have it bad. We're so blessed. And we've met people who forgot that they're blessed. And then we were able to take those blessings that we received all week from the people and pass them on. Go ahead. Go ahead. We slept on the floor in the airport. There we. You know, remember I've been up since 4 in the morning. I went to bed at 4 in the morning, up since 7. I crashed on the floor. So we all slept in the airport. Nobody else was there. Yeah. We had a 4-hour layover in Orlando. So it was at a 4-hour layover. And finally we made it home. Our challenge to you and to everyone here today is to feel God's blessings every day and to experience those who don't have what you have and to share that, to pass it on. You know, to go where you know, when you don't want to go, maybe that's when you need to go the most. And so when God calls, don't turn your back, but listen. And that's what we ask, is that you listen. If you have a prayer with me real quick. Father, we are so grateful for the opportunity that you gave us to go and be your ambassadors in a world where people are hurting. And that we were able to take with us the love from this congregation and the people who helped support us to make this trip happen and share it with those who had so much need. And to see smiles on their faces and know that they felt the love of your embrace. Help us to be open to those experiences and help us to continue to go where you lead. In Jesus' name, amen.
blessings rain down upon this church and upon these offerings. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
You'll find the last hymn on the printed page. It's printed on both sides in your insert in your bulletin. Father, thank you for this time to come together. May we go out in the world, out and serve others as you have taught us to serve, taking you with us as we go. In Christ's name, we pray all these things. Amen.